December 21st, 2012, on the Mayan calendar. There's all kinds of predictions. People are saying, is this going to be the end of civilization as we know it? Is it possible that there's going to be alien invaders from outer space coming to this planet? There's a lot of speculation about this date. In fact, if you go on Amazon right now, there's been 7 million hits to the date 2012. And if you Google it, you'll find there's 400 books dealing with 2012. What is going on? Well, if you turn on the History Channel, you know what you're going to find now? There's this program on Nostradamos, and he was this 15th century, prophet that supposedly told us of untimely upheaval and terrorism and what's going to be coming. It's like the movie. This movie is going to have like meteor showers and tsunamis and earthquakes. It's going to be the end of the world. And a lot of people today are saying, is this possibly what's going to happen? There's also a movie that's just come out called Collapse. And the guy that actually is doing this documentary is the one that 5 years before the whole global blow-up predicted it all. And the New York Times says this is serious. This guy has got some strong arguments and premises. Economic upheaval, terrorism, what's going to happen to our nation? If you turn on ABC now, there's a new program. It's called about visitors from another planet and how they're going to exterminate the Earth. And the guy that, is making about $100 million off of this paranormal movie, well, he's got a new movie that he's working on, and the speculation is, guess what? It's going to be about aliens and all the rest of that. What are we supposed to make of this? Is this real? There's books, there's movies, there's all this stuff. Is this really the end of the world? I'll tell you what, here's what we need to consider. 2 things. Number 1, there's a new book out by Al Gore, and this book by Al Gore is telling us about climate change and global warming. And you know what we've got to ask is, maybe Al Gore a prophet that's telling us about what's really happening? Well, you know what? I'd like to submit to you 2 things. Number 1, take off on Al Gore. Some people think this guy that won the Nobel Peace Prize as a consumer, I'm kind of like a global advocate, that we need to say, hey, he deserves a prize. Why don't we give him, an award and say, you deserve something like this? But you know what others think? His theories and all this alarmism and exaggeration, they think that what he deserves is in this box. They think, hey, here's what Al Gore deserves for what he's doing. What do you think? What do you think? Well, here's what I would say. If you look at the earth, you'll see things recycle. And there's no doubt that there's prophecies about the end of time. There will come a time. Jesus was asked about how are we going to know about the end of days. Now, when it comes to Al Gore, think about this. This guy left the White House with $2 million. Now he's worth hundreds of millions. His movies, he'll speak for $100,000. He's got a new book that's come out right now. And all of this revs up the action, and the money comes in. And he's even being called right now what'll be the first carbon billionaire because of all his investments and all his partnerships. And as long as people get stirred up about this, more money is going to be coming to Al Gore, speaking in movies and books and all the rest of that. I'd submit to you there's a lot of this that is false. And what we need to do is look to what is real. Now, Jesus was asked about the end of time, and you know what he said? There's some signposts. And he said we can't be ignorant about what's going on in terms of the season. We're in a time right now where the season is ripe. And there's a lot of speculation with Israel and what's going on with economic upheaval and one world governments and all of the talk about nuclear weaponry and all the rest of that. My submission to you today is this. We need to sweep aside the hoaxes about aliens and, Mayan calendar and all the rest of that, because they never even said it was going to be the end of time. It's just the end of the calendar as they recorded it. But what we need to be aware of is Jesus gave some signposts. And I challenge you to open up a Bible and look in Matthew 24 and find out what some of those signposts are, and make sure you're right with the God who created us and who gave his Son that we could find new life.